Hi, Virgo. Welcome to Virgo. Today, we're doing a general love reading for March 2026. Take what feels right for you and release the rest. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future readings. hmm Okay, so there's someone, and before I even go further, before I say anything else, I need you to just feel into this for a second, because the energy coming through isn't casual, it's not surface level, it's deep, it's genuine. It's the kind of love that doesn't come with conditions, doesn't come with games, doesn't come with an expiration date. Someone wants to love you unconditionally. And I know that might sound too good to be true, especially if you've been hurt before, especially if you've only experienced conditional love, transactional love, love that disappeared the moment you weren't perfect. But this, um, this feels different. This feels like the kind of love that sees all of you, the messy parts and the beautiful parts, and chooses you anyway. The kind of love that doesn't require you to perform or prove or pretend. The kind that just is. And with this love, deep happiness is coming. Not the temporary high kind, not the everything's perfect for a week kind, but real, sustained, soul level happiness. So let's explore this, who this person might be, what unconditional love actually looks like, what deep happiness feels like when it's real, and how to recognize it, receive it, trust it when it shows up. Take what resonates here. This is about possibilities and connection. You remain in control of your heart, always. This is simply an invitation to open yourself to a kind of love you might have stopped believing was real. Let me start by saying what I mean by unconditional love, because I think that phrase gets thrown around a lot without people really understanding what it means. Unconditional love doesn't mean someone accepts bad behavior. It doesn't mean there are no boundaries. It doesn't mean you can do whatever you want and they'll just take it. That's not love, that's codependence. Unconditional love means they see your flaws and they don't leave. They see your trauma and they don't run. They see your worst day and they don't withdraw their affection. They love the whole of you, not just the parts that are easy to love. And this person, whoever they are for you, they might be carrying that kind of love, that rare, deep, choosing you on purpose kind of love. And if you've never experienced that before, if all you've known is love with strings attached, love that had to be earned, love that could be taken away if you messed up, this is going to feel unfamiliar. It might even feel uncomfortable at first, because receiving unconditional love requires vulnerability. It requires letting someone see you fully. Let me ask you something. Do you believe you're worthy of unconditional love? Not in theory, not as a concept, but really in your bones. And do you believe someone could love you without conditions is less than has hone? Zero hash is greater than. Because I feel like many of you struggle with this. You've been taught that love has to be earned, that you're only lovable when you're performing at your best, that if people really knew you, they'd leave. And those beliefs, they create walls. They make you push away the very love you're asking for. Because when it shows up, you don't trust it. You test it. You sabotage it. You reject it before it can reject you. Don't do that with this person. Don't do that with this love. When someone shows up wanting to love you fully, let them. Stop convincing them they shouldn't. Stop pointing out all your flaws as if that will scare them away. They already see you and they're choosing you anyway. You know what I'm picking up on most strongly? The sense that this person might already be in your life, or they might be close, on the periphery, about to enter. But I don't feel like this is some distant future person you haven't met yet. This feels present, this feels near. Like you might already know who I'm talking about, or you're about to find out very soon. And when you do, when they reveal themselves, or when you finally see them clearly, it might surprise you. It might not be who you expected. It might not be the person you've been focused on or hoping for. But they're right. They fit. They match your energy in ways that feel easy, natural. Like coming home, let me paint you a picture of what this might look like. You're with this person and you're having a bad day. Maybe you're stressed, maybe you're overwhelmed, maybe you're not at your best. And instead of them getting frustrated or distant or making it about them, they just hold space. They don't try to fix you, they don't judge you, they don't make you feel like you're too much. They just stay. They're present. They're steady. They let you be human. And in that moment, you realize, oh, this is what it feels like to be loved without having to earn it. This is what safety feels like. That's the kind of love that's available to you. That's what this person is offering. Now, let's talk about who this person might be, because the energy is showing up differently for different people. For some of you, this is someone new, someone you haven't met yet or have just recently met. And there's this quality to them that feels different from other people you've dated or been interested in. They're more present, more intentional, more clear about what they want. Mm. They're not playing games, they're not trying to keep you guessing. They're direct, they show up, they communicate. And that directness might be refreshing or it might be intimidating depending on what you're used to. For others, this is someone you already know, maybe a friend who's been there all along, maybe someone you've known casually but never considered in a romantic way. And something's shifting. The energy between you is changing. You're seeing them differently, or they're seeing you differently. Mm. And what was platonic is becoming something more. What was comfortable friendship is deepening into something that could be love. For some, this might even be someone from your past, someone who left or who you left, but who's been doing their own work, their own healing, and they're returning different, more mature, more ready, more capable of the kind of love they couldn't offer before. And you have to decide, is this real growth or is this just a cycle repeating? Only you can answer that. But the possibility is there. Um, Let me slow down here because I want to address something important. Deep happiness, the kind that comes with real love. It's not constant euphoria. It's not fireworks every day. It's not that honeymoon phase intensity that burns bright and then fades. Deep happiness is quieter than that. It's steadier. It's the feeling of being at peace with someone. It's laughing together over nothing. It's comfortable silence. It's knowing you can be yourself completely and they're not going anywhere. It's waking up next to someone and feeling grateful instead of anxious. So if this person shows up and it doesn't feel like a movie, if it doesn't feel dramatic or all consuming, don't dismiss it. Sometimes the deepest love is the calmest love. Sometimes happiness is found in stability, not chaos. Let me ask you another question. What would it feel like to be deeply happy in love? Not temporarily happy, not conditionally happy, but truly at peace in a relationship? What would change in your life if you had a partner who genuinely supported you, who celebrated your wins, who held you through your losses, who didn't make everything harder? What would you be able to create, to build, to become if you had that foundation of unconditional love underneath you? Is less than hash zero. 5 hash is greater than, because I feel like some of you have been so busy surviving bad relationships, so busy managing partners who drain you or confuse you or hurt you, that you've forgotten what's actually possible. You've forgotten that relationships can add to your life instead of taking from it. You've forgotten that love can be a source of strength instead of a source of pain. This person wants to remind you. This person wants to show you what love can be when it's healthy, when it's real, when it's unconditional. You know what else I'm picking up on? The timing. And I feel like for many of you, this is happening now because you're finally ready for it. Not because you're perfect, not because you've healed every wound or resolved every issue, but because you've done enough work on yourself that you can actually receive healthy love now. You've raised your standards. You've learned what you won't tolerate. You've discovered your worth. And that internal shift, it's creating space for someone who matches that energy. Because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And you've been becoming someone who deserves unconditional love. So now, now the universe can bring you someone who offers it. Let me share something with you about recognizing this person when they show up. Because I think sometimes we miss real love because we're looking for the wrong signs. Real love might not give you butterflies at first. It might feel comfortable instead of exciting. Real love might not sweep you off your feet with grand gestures. It might show up in small, consistent actions. Real love might not look like the romance novels or the movies. It might look ordinary from the outside, but feel extraordinary on the inside. So pay attention to how you feel with someone, not just how they make you feel. Do you feel safe? Do you feel seen? Do you feel like you can breathe fully around them? Do you feel like yourself or like you have to perform? Those feelings, they tell you more than words ever could. They tell you whether this is real or whether it's just another situation that will drain you. Drop a comment if you already have someone in mind when I talk about this. If there's someone in your life right now who shows up consistently, who sees you, who makes you feel safe, because sometimes we overlook what's right in front of us because it doesn't match our fantasy. But the person who's actually good for us, they might already be here. Let's sit with this for a moment. What if the love you've been asking for has been waiting for you to be ready? What if it's been in the wings, watching you grow, watching you heal, waiting for the moment when you could actually receive it? What if all the disappointments, all the heartbreaks, all the wrong people, what if they were all preparing you for the right person, teaching you what you don't want so you could recognize what you do want when it arrives? Because I feel like that's where you are now, at the end of a cycle of painful love and at the beginning of a cycle of healthy love. And this transition, it requires trust. It requires believing that not everyone is like the people who hurt you. It requires being brave enough to try again, even though you've been burned before. You know what else I'm sensing? This person might challenge you, not in a toxic way, not in a they don't respect your boundaries way, but in a growth way. They might call you on your patterns. They might reflect back to you when you're self sabotaging. They might not let you hide behind your walls the way other people did. And that might be uncomfortable. You might resist it at first, but ultimately, it's what you need. Someone who loves you enough to see you fully and invite you to be better, not because you're not enough, but because they see your potential. That's different from someone trying to change you. That's someone helping you become more of who you already are. Let me offer you something practical about preparing for this love. First, get clear on what unconditional love actually looks like for you. What are the non negotiables? What are the signs that someone's love is healthy? Write them down if you need to. Because when you're in it, when feelings are involved, it's easy to compromise. It's easy to accept less than you deserve. But if you've already defined what you need, you can check in with that list. You can stay grounded in your standards. Second, work on your ability to receive. Practice accepting compliments without deflecting. Practice letting people help you without feeling like you owe them. Practice being vulnerable in small ways. Because if you can't receive small things, you won't be able to receive big love. Your walls will keep it out. So practice opening, practice letting good things in. Third, heal what you can heal now. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm not saying you have to have it all figured out. But if there are wounds you know need attention, if there are patterns you know you need to break, work on them. Go to therapy, journal, talk to trusted friends, do the work. Because the clearer you are, the healthier you are, the better positioned you are to build something real with someone. Fourth, trust your intuition. When this person shows up, your body will know, your gut will know. There will be a feeling of rightness, of recognition, of, oh, there you are. Don't let your mind talk you out of what your intuition is telling you. Don't let fear convince you that if it feels this good, it must be wrong. Sometimes good things just feel good. Sometimes right people just feel right. Let me ask you one final question. What would it mean to be deeply happy? Not just in relationship, but in your whole life? Because I feel like this love, this person, they're part of a larger shift toward happiness for you. They're not the only source, but they're a significant piece. And when you have love that supports you instead of drains you, when you have a partner who's on your team instead of someone you're constantly fighting with, everything else gets easier. You have more energy for your dreams, for your work, for yourself. You have a foundation that makes everything else possible. That's what's coming. That's what this person represents. Not just romantic love, but a whole different quality of life. Deep happiness, real peace, genuine partnership. Take what resonates from this reading, leave what doesn't. And remember that you remain in control of your heart, of your choices, of who you let in and who you keep out. Someone wants to love you unconditionally. Deep happiness is approaching. Not because life is going to be perfect, not because there won't be challenges, but because you'll have someone by your side who chooses you through it all. Someone who sees you and stays. Someone who loves you not despite your humanity, but because of it. Trust your inner knowing. Trust that you deserve this kind of love. Trust that it's real, that it exists, that it's available to you. Trust that you don't have to settle for less anymore. Trust that the right person is either already here or on their way. Thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping your heart open even after it's been hurt. Thank you for still believing that real love is possible. You're exactly where you need to be, on the edge of deep happiness, on the threshold of unconditional love. And it's going to be more beautiful than you imagine. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Keep your heart soft. Stay open. And get ready to be loved the way you've always deserved to be loved. Unconditionally, deeply, truly,